Hello there, my name is Luke, and this is going to be my National League North preview and predictions. So let's get straight into it. In my opinion, first place will be AFC Fylde. They have an awful lot of money, the most in the league. They are now full-time as well. They've got a brand new stadium. They've got some incredible players with Football League experience, and so also some great up-and-coming players. Unfortunately, they have lost one of their key players in Dion Charles due to some mix-up in his contract. He was meant to be signed up for a contract for the next 2 years, which he signed last summer. However, apparently that never got to the FA, and now that it hasn't, and his original contract's run out at the end of this season, he's now left and gone to Fleetwood. But now that essentially Fylde are just blaming the FA, and it's all a bit of a mess. But either way, they've lost Dion Charles, but I don't think that will really matter. I think they're still going to be the best team in the league this season. In second place, I'm going with Halifax. A big club, big stadium, big history. Obviously, they are a Phoenix club, but the history of the club is again quite a big club. They've got a really lovely stadium in the Shea, and they've obviously poached the management team of North Ferriby and also half their squad. So they're going to be more than capable of getting promotion, because they've got people there that know how to get promoted out of the National League North. In third, I'm going to go with Harrogate Town. They're always there or thereabouts. They're always up in the playoffs, in and around that sort of area. They always make some solid signings, sort of Grimsby players, people like this. They brought in, I think, John Paul Pittman. So he's a good player at National League level, so he'll be more than good enough at National League North. And again, they've got some decent money. I think they might be full-time, not 100% sure on that. In fourth, I'm going with the most famous non-league club at the minute, and that is Salford City. Obviously, part owned by the class of '92. They've got plenty of money again, plenty of fame, plenty of following. They've got momentum from back-to-back promotions. I think they're going to be right up there. In fifth, I'm going with Nuneaton Town. Now, they've got a very clever business model. They bring in young players, but also supplement it with a lot of experienced players, the likes of Marlon Harewood that is currently there, and I think that they will be up in the playoffs. Tamworth, solid part-time team. They've signed Mills from Corby, who scored a lot of goals last season, even though Corby got relegated, so he scored a lot of goals in a relegated team, so that shows that he's a pretty good player. So I think he'll be a good addition at Tamworth. So for me, they'll finish fairly high, just outside the playoffs. Stockport, probably the biggest team in the National League North in terms of fan base. They've got a massive stadium, it's big history, obviously formerly in the Championship, but they completely capitulated and end up in the National League North. No idea how they've managed to mess it up so badly, and they just cannot get out of the National League North. Boston United in at number 8, similar to Harrogate. They're always going to be there or thereabouts. However, they have lost their main goal scorer from last season, Dale Southwell. He has gone to Wickham, so that's gutting for them, but I think they'll still be in top half. Number 9, team that I know pretty well, Kidderminster Harriers. That's the team that I support. A lot of people are sort of predicting us to be higher, but I just can't see it because of how bad we were last season. I really can't see us being anywhere in the playoffs. Obviously, if we are in the playoffs, would absolutely love it, but I'm going with the conservative estimate of 9th because of the pessimist that I am about Harriers, basically. And at 10th is another relegated team, Altrincham. Now, I would put them ahead of Harriers, other than the fact that Altrincham are part-time and Harriers are full-time. Alfreton and Telford I can talk about as one, really. They're both teams that were sort of near the bottom of the league last year. Alfreton recovered a bit, but Alfreton have had some of their good players poached. So I think they'll still be good enough for mid-table. Same with Telford. Darlington, similar to Salford, another promoted team, back-to-back promotions. A Phoenix club of the old Darlington Football Club. The momentum for me will carry them into a mid-table finish, which for them will be solid, I think, although they could be higher. Curzon Ashton, again, they've got momentum. They've had a couple of promotions in the last few years. I think they finished somewhere mid-table last season in the National League North, so solid again, a mid-table finish for them. Chorley in 15th, another part-time club. There are a lot of teams that are very similar in the National League North, in that they're just part-time clubs that have been in the league for a few years. Again, Chorley are another one. FC United of Manchester, obviously the rebellion sort of club of the Man United fans that don't like the Glazers, set up their own club. They're just climbing up the ladder of non-league. They were sort of bottom half last season in the National League North. I can't see that being any different, but I think they're too big of a club to be relegated in terms of their following and their fan base. although they are in some bit dodgy financial situation at the minute, I do believe. Brackley, small club, again another small part-time club, same bracket as the likes of Chorley, Alfreton. Part-time club in the National League North, been here a few years. They're going to be in a relegation battle again, I think. Same with Bradford Park Avenue. Same with Worcester, even though Worcester is a team that I know a little bit more about because they're local to me. They've lost one of their best players in Daniel Lindsay. He was in the team of the season for the National League North last season. He's gone to York, so that's a big loss for them. However, they have kept Lee Hughes, who scored a lot of goals for them last year. Very good player, very experienced, however controversial he is. So I think that they'll be good enough to stay up, but only just because of their horrendous sort of situation in terms of they haven't got a ground. They're trying to get back into Worcester, but they can't, so they're now playing at Bromsgrove after they played at Agborough last year and Kidderminster. So they're sort of moving about a bit. They haven't got a lot of money. A lot of their board have just quit. A lot of their good players from last season have gone, so they'll really struggle, and they'll probably be relegated, to be honest, but I really want them to stay up, so I've put them in 19th, just on the borderline of staying up. Gainsborough Trinity, they have gone absolutely mad in the transfer market. They have gone and bought in so many players so early, but I just sense that they've panic bought a lot of them. A lot of them don't have National League North experience. I think they'll be relegated, unfortunately. Then Gloucester and Stalybridge Celtic, they're two teams. Like Gloucester are very similar to Worcester. They haven't got a home. They're trying to move back to Gloucester. Actually, time's looking up a bit because I think there is some progress being made on that front, but I don't see them being good enough to stay in the National League North this season, unfortunately. And Stalybridge Celtic, they get the bottom place because they haven't got any real standout players, in my opinion. Unfortunately, they're a solid team, but the league's progressing. Will they be left behind? I don't know. So that concludes my National League North preview. Let me know what you think of my predictions in the comments down below. I've probably got most of them wrong. When I revisit this at the end of the season, I know I will have got the majority of them completely wrong, but it's good fun anyway. Let me know who you think will be in the playoffs and who will win and who will be relegated as well. So yes, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and this is the fact of the day.